About Time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to the About Time Boxing family and my Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to everybody that has been subscribing to the channel, who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, and leave the comments. I appreciate all y'all. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do. Please subscribe to the channel. Pass the word about Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Become part of the About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang. Don't forget to hit the notification button and share the videos, so you can stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. Okay, Wilder Fury 3. First, I want to start off by saying congratulations to Tyson Fury. I told you at Rashawn's About Time Boxing, we don't hate on nobody. And that's why I said, like, this was not a race war, black versus white, none of that. This is two men getting in the ring fighting. This is the fight game, not no race war. So congratulations to Tyson Fury on his victory. Now, I said that this fight wasn't going to go 12 rounds. And I did pick Deontay Wilder to win the fight. But Tyson Fury stopped him, and he was down. I figured if Wilder was going to stop, if Tyson Fury was going to stop Deontay Wilder, I figured Wilder would have, probably been up against the ropes. And a few times in the fight, it looked like, the ref could have stopped the fight while he was against the ropes. And I figured if Wilder was going, I said it in the video I put up before the fight. I thought that if Wilder would have stopped Fury, Fury would have been, on his back. I stand corrected. But I also said in that video that Tyson Fury was a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. I said that. It's a few things that I said. One of the things I said that Wilder should have never talked about fighting Usyk. He was looking too far ahead too fast. He should have never said, "Oh yeah, well, after I'm done with him, then I want to be the undisputed heavyweight champion." I think, it's a few things. He wasn't doing what Malik Scott trained him to do, but I'm gonna tell you this. Wilder had like almost a 2-year layoff, like 20 months or something like that. So almost a 2-year layoff. But even still with that, a boxer slash banger is going to always, a puncher slash banger is always going to have problems with a boxer. Always. And even in the video that I put up before the fight, I said that if Fury start touching Wilder, touching him, and he frustrate Wilder, I said Wilder going to revert back to what he know, and that's trying to brawl with him. And that's what he did. You can't change a fighter's style in one camp, a la Ricky Hatton versus Manny Pacquiao. He brought in Floyd Mayweather's father for that fight and thought that Floyd Pop was going to be able to teach him how to, slip, catch, and counter and all that kind of stuff in one camp. You can't. And as soon as Pacquiao started touching Ricky Hatton, what did Ricky Hatton do? Fight didn't last long, but Hatton reverted back to what he knows. That coming forward, trying to and Wilder, when Fury started touching Wilder, he went back to what he know. He abandoned. So I said he would have to stick to the game plan if he was going to be effective in that fight. And he didn't do it. And even and I played the audio from Fury when Wilder said, "You haven't denied the allegations of cheating, to this point." And Fury was like, "Well, I don't have to because it's true. It's all true." You know what I mean? And all that stuff. But cheating is just a no-no in the sport, period. But Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. And like I said, I picked Wilder, to win the fight, but I stand corrected. And a big congratulations, you know what I mean, is in order for Tyson Fury. He did what he was supposed to do. Hey, listen, look, this is boxing. Some people just got your number. Some people just got your number. And I think that Wilder was even actually, you know, he he was talking about he wanted to be the undisputed champion, defend it a few times and then retire. But I don't know if Wilder should maybe think about retiring now. He got other investments. He got money, other money coming in and stuff. He may want to think about. And see, and this is the thing. So we got to remember too, in the rematch, the one that he said that that Fury was alleged for cheating in. He bust Wilder's eardrum. The same ear was bleeding again last night. And then Wilder had a dent in his skull. So we don't know what type of damage was actually really done in in the rematch, the second fight. We don't know how damaged Deontay Wilder really is. It's possible that, you know, even though he physically looked good and all that type of stuff, you still don't know how damaged he was. Just like people saying about Errol Spence in that car accident. People saying that Spence is not the same. So after that rematch, we don't know the extent. We know what was put out there in the press and all that, but we don't know what type of, based on a doctor, patient confidentiality, we don't know what Deontay Wilder held back and didn't want exposed to the world about the damage that Fury really did to him in the second fight. Just like Floyd Mayweather's father said, once a fighter gets knocked out, and I mean they get hurt, get knocked out, they're never the same after that. And the reality is Deontay Wilder is not the same fighter. Tyson Fury got his number. There's no other way to say it. And regardless of what anybody may think about the fight on October 9th, no excuses. Because after the controversy with the gloves, Deontay Wilder did an interview and he said that he was pleased with how they worked the situation out and how everything turned out, and that he was happy because he felt like that they were on an even playing field, that everything was even. So Wilder can't come out now and say, oh, he cheated again. He can't say that. But Tyson Fury always had that style of boxing, of like being light on his feet, to be such a big guy. I see Fury is used to walking around 230 something or 40 something pounds, so that 277 didn't bother him as much as that 238 bothered Wilder. He shouldn't have come in that heavy. And like I said before, all of this stuff, we only know what they've been showing us on camera when he's been working with Malik Scott. We only know what they've been showing us on camera. How much sparring was Deontay Wilder really getting in? Did he even spar at all? What big guys did he bring in to help him prepare for that? Because we know Tyson Fury sparred with all different sizes of people. I think he even sparred with his own brother, with Tommy. But he worked with different people. And then some people, like I said, and even like on a video that I put up before the fight, when I was saying that, some people saying that Deontay Wilder went Hollywood. He got like this confidence, like arrogance, with him. And he's saying that, he feel like the love from certain people is fake and all that, but a lot of people saying the same thing about him. You look at his mannerism when he first came into this fight game, the innocence, you know what I'm saying? You know, the sincerity, like everything he was, to how he is now. And I know that, the only thing that's definite is change. Either you're going to change for the better or you're going to change for the worse. But one thing is for sure, you are going to change one way or another. So, like I said, again, I stand corrected. Tyson Fury pulled the fight off, but I always said that he was a better boxer. Deontay Wilder is a puncher slash banger. And I even made mention about how, how wild, Wilder throw his punches when he swing. He just swings like his knockout punches are wild. That's why I say he's not your traditional fighter like Tyson Fury is. It's no different like even with Mike Tyson. When Mike was steamrolling his way through everybody. And then when he lost to Buster Douglas and people saw that them knockout artists, them banger slash, even though Mike, Mike Tyson had better movement than Deontay Wilder. He definitely had better movement. Mike could slip. He always, would work with a slip bag, rolling. And, Mike did all that kind of stuff. And you're going to see Deontay Wilder doing that. And believe it or not, that's one of the things that Mark Breland used to get on him about. But when you got a bunch of yes men around you and people just going to do what you want them to do and they not going to listen to how, and you're not going to listen to how they want you to do it, instead of you saying, okay, I hear you, but I'm going to do it like this, things go wrong. Again, a la Roy Jones. Everybody that was around Roy, was yes men. Alton Murchison, you know what I mean? Alfred, the guy, I was like on here, Alfred, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. Those was people who, and everybody, and that wasn't no secret in the boxing sport. Roy wanted a bunch of yes men around him. People that just, Roy gonna run things the way he want to run it. And that's how Deontay Wilder is too. He gonna run things the way he want to run it. And you could make the argument. A lot of people said that's why he let Malik Scott work with him, because he gonna tell Malik Scott what he want done, and Malik just gonna say, okay, we gonna do that. Even though Malik Scott said he went into Deontay's toolbox, and like I said before in the other video, I said the best that I've ever seen Deontay Wilder actually box was when he won the title from Bermane Stiverne. Now, if he could have maybe boxed like that and was able to incorporate the stuff that he did with Malik Scott and was able to incorporate that with the performance that he did against Bermane Stiverne, the outcome may have been different. And it's possible that the fight would have went 12 rounds and nobody would have gotten knocked out. But the reality is Deontay Wilder don't know how to box. He don't know how to box. He got the basic, like, okay, the stance, and but his thing was to just like feint you, fake you, and then just try to drop that right hand. Just try to bomb with it, whether it comes straight or whether it come looping, whether it come over. But Tyson Fury can put combinations, together. And Deontay Wilder was never known for that, even though he got the highest knockout, percentage, in the heavyweight division. But he's not known for being able to put combinations together, the basic 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, what I mean, the uppercut, boom, roll, catch, he don't. It's one thing to do that stuff in camp, but to actually try to do it in an actual fight is different. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, Floyd could, roll and boom and shoot right off of that. James Toney could do the same thing. Roll and boom and catch you right off of that. Or, boom, boom, or roll, pop, 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 pop. He could do that type of stuff. But Deontay Wilder can't do those type of things. So now you got a lot of people saying, well, I guess it don't matter that he cheated in the first fight, because he beat you in the third one. And he beat you basically the same way. But, I just, I will say this, though. in my opinion, I think that Tyson Fury is going to be the next undisputed champion. I think he's going to be the next undisputed champion. If Usyk decides to fight him, or either way you slice it, I think that he is going to. I don't see them waiting for some, prospects to catch up and all that. I think they're going to try to make the fight with him, even if it was a rematch clause in the fight with in the trilogy with Wilder. Deontay Wilder not going to take that fight again. He would never fight Tyson Fury again. And Wilder is going to disappear. He is. Like, you didn't see too much of him. His ego is bruised right now. His ego is hurting right now because he honestly felt like he was really going to dominate this fight. He really felt like that. But from the damage that happened to him in the last fight, like I said, he had almost 2 years off, but still, you don't know how much of those 20 months he spent having to heal physically. You see what I'm saying? Mentally, psychologically, emotionally. Whether he admitted or not, he was damaged in all those ways in the rematch. And I even said too that even though throughout this press conference and stuff, Wilder was trying to play it off and pretend, like he wasn't worried about nothing and he was so calm. I said that, and I said I felt like that what happened to him in a rematch is still sitting in the back of his mind, because you just don't get that. That's not just going to go away just like that. And that's why I said I felt like that it was still going to be in the back of his mind, and he was going to fight that way, like it was still in his mind. And again, that might have played on his psyche in that fight. See, everybody think, getting prepared for a fight is all about the physical. The physical is only 10%. The other 90% is mental, emotional, and psychological preparation. Mike Tyson said boxing is a hurt sport. So listen, I want to hear, how y'all feel about the fight. Those of y'all who saw it, subscribe to the channel, share this video, smash that like button, encourage others to subscribe to the channel. But I want to hear what y'all think about the fight. How do y'all feel about the fight? And just please be honest, man. Like, how many of y'all went with Wilder? How many of y'all went with Fury? You know what I mean? Just be honest about it, because I went with Wilder. I thought that, he had a different type of energy and stuff, for this fight, and I felt like, he was prepared. But people can give you the appearance or the like thereof, but really, really not be, as mentally, emotionally, and psychologically, prepared as they may appear to be. And I think that was part of it too. I still believe that what happened to him in a rematch was in the back of his mind. The damage that was done to him, Tyson Fury putting a dent in his skull and busting his eardrum and had his ear bleeding and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and this, it basically almost looked like it was a repeat of the rematch when he started, hurting him. And I don't know if Wilder thought by coming in heavier that it would help him, but coming in heavier, especially if you haven't. And this is another thing too. I felt like that, because this is the thing, even with that layoff, honestly, if he was going to fight Fury again, they should have waited till maybe mid 2022, early 2023, because I would have felt like that Wilder would have needed, he didn't have no type of tune-up fights in between, to even try to, he should have at least took a gimme fight, somebody where he could get in the ring and work off the rust and work and be able to utilize, those, the stuff that they worked on in camp. You got to be able to work that stuff out on somebody in an actual fight. And most fighters that have layoffs like that, they usually take a tune-up fight before they get the rematch against whoever they lost to. And Wilder just wanted to get right back in there. But see, And I mean, if you don't have confidence in this game, I know it's no point in you being in it, but common sense is part of it too. You know that you lost that way the second time, and you believe that that man did what he did. You say he cheated and all that, and Fury didn't deny it and all that. And then you saying you working on these new things, then you should have taken a tune-up fight. A tune-up fight, so that way you can know for sure that if this stuff that you working on in camp is actually working and is actually a benefit to you. That's why people take tune-up fights. He didn't take one. And again, like I said, with he had almost 2 years off. How much of that time did he actually spend healing? And then with all of the legal stuff he had to go through with going to court and all that type of stuff. We don't know about all that stuff either. But I feel like he definitely should have took a tune-up fight. But nonetheless, Tyson Fury proved that he was the better man. And this is boxing, and like I said, sometimes some people just have your number. Some people just have your number. And everybody that Wilder was fighting, especially like his first maybe 10 or 15 fights or whatever, you supposed to win like that. If you a top prospect, you're supposed to mow people down. So, but the same thing with Mike Tyson though. When Mike Tyson was knocking everybody out, people were scared of him to get in the ring. And they were saying a lot of it was because they were scared. So he was charging at him and knocking everybody out. But once they found out that he had problems with boxers, and once they seen him get knocked out by Buster Douglas, everybody wanted to fight Mike then. Even Roy Jones. When he got knocked out by Tarver, oh, everybody was like, oh yeah, we going after Roy. Oh, so that's all you got to do? And Roy, even though as fast as he was and all that, Roy wasn't like your traditional boxer either. Roy had a lot of feints and, left hook leads, right hand leads and stuff like that. He could put punches together though, you know what I mean? And that was the same thing with Wilder. A lot of people, seen when he had, Luis Ortiz was the guy he fought. When he fought Luis Ortiz, or I think that was the guy's name, but he rocked Wilder, you know what I'm saying? And Wilder, put him up. Wilder will stand there and trade with you, and sometimes that's not always the best thing. And why would you work on all of that boxing stuff and rolling and slipping stuff in camp? But once again, you can't change a fighter's habits in one camp. And if y'all were working on those things in the gym, somebody should have said, yo, I think you should take a tune-up fight so that way you could, work on using this stuff on an actual opponent in a real fight, and not with somebody that's in your camp that's trying to make you look good and make you feel like that the stuff is working. Because once, if you never had a chance to try to implement it in a real, in an actual fight, so like I said, let me know what y'all think, man. Smash the like button, share this video, hit the notification bell, and share this video, and let me know what y'all think. How do y'all feel about the fight? Who picked Wilder, who picked Fury, and how do y'all feel about the fight? What are y'all, thoughts on, how the fight went? Who's happy about it? Who's not? But again, like I said, congratulations is in order to Tyson Fury and to Deontay Wilder too, because he hung in there for as long as he could. He showed his warrior spirit. He did, you know what I mean? Because it's not easy. People can make of it what you will, but boxing is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not. I don't care how easy some people may make it look, but it is very hard. Very hard. So like I said, congratulations to both fighters, and I hope that Deontay Wilder is not suffered any more like trauma, to his neurological system or his brain or anything like that as a result of, the fight. You know what I mean? But, and again, congratulations, to Tyson Fury. And I believe that Fury is going to be the next undisputed heavyweight champion. So again, let me know what y'all think. What's your thoughts? Appreciate y'all for checking out Rashawn's Bout Time Boxing. Y'all stay safe.